Hey everybody, happy Wellness Wednesday. Marco Rodriguez coming at you. So today I've got a very special guest, Stephanie Kidwiler, best known for her social media phenomenon, Kidwiler Inspired. Stephanie, thank you so much for taking the time out to meet with us. I have watched you grow. So I've known Stephanie for a number of years, and I have watched you grow from, and I won't say that you were ever quiet or shy. That's certainly not your personality. You are the cheerleader, right? You're the cheerleading coach. I mean, that is who she is. That is what she does. But I've seen you grow from into this confident, very powerful business person, and you portray that on your social media page. And knowing you personally, I can say that it's been an honor. It's very rarely in a person's life where you get to witness the birth of a rock star. And I gotta say that it has been an absolute privilege for Diane and I to watch you grow, and we look forward to watching you continue to grow as your business continues to expand, not only across the country, but as your business begins to envelop and go around the world. And so we're really super excited. Thank you so much for coming in. And now, we know you have an amazing biohack story and an amazing entrepreneurial story, and I'm sure our audience can't wait to hear it. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Marco, for giving me the opportunity to be here to share my story with your audience. So to go ahead and start off with, I am born and raised in El Paso. I do come from a broken family. At the age of 5, my mom and dad did divorce. At the age of 13, my dad did pass away, causing my mom to be a single widowed mom, raising me and my little brother. On the good note, I was actually involved in cheerleading at a young age, and that's where my passion was. So one of the biggest assets that I do have did come from cheer, and I am going to use my cards for resources here. So one of my biggest strengths is to always smile. I'm always smiling. Everybody's asking me, how are you so positive and motivated, and you're so happy all the time? And well, growing up in cheer, no matter what, you have to smile. So here's some 3 keys on how to always smile and keep a smile on your face that helped me out a lot growing up. A simple smile is the best makeup any girl can wear. Always smile at strangers.
Guys too.
Guys too. Always smile at strangers, because you just might change someone's life. Even just a simple smile, that's the start of opening your heart and being compassionate to others. So alongside within my life, ages 23 to 26, my life did take a spin for crazy spins. But we're going to skip that part. We'll get to that time another time. But I do want to go and rewind to last year, back in March. Okay. Back in March, 22nd to be exact, my little brother was involved in a horrific car accident. I was at cheer practice at the time, and his accident was maybe 2 miles away from me. So I got the phone call from my stepdad saying, your brother was in an accident, you're the closest one to him, go ahead and go. So I jumped in the car. I was there before EMS and the firefighters. The impact of the car, he was going 45 miles an hour and smashed into a power line, causing the impact from the engine to smash his hips, shattered one side of his hip, shattered. His head went through the windshield. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Mind you, he was 19. This was 2 days before his 20th birthday. He had dreams of being in the military, going to the police academy, pretty much being in the police field is what he had dreams of being in. That accident crushed everything. The doctors told him he was never going to walk again. He didn't have insurance, so him having any kind of therapy was slim. He went through the UMC program. He was offered physical therapy 1 time a week. So in actuality, he really had to.
It's not much.
No, it's not.
It's not much. If you know anything about therapy, once a week, that's never enough for an accident like that.
Not at all. So in the hospital, since he didn't have insurance, we did resort to go to UMC, and they have a priority list. If there's an emergency that's priority over yours, then you're going to be on the waiting list for anybody to even see you. My brother was intubated and hooked up to some chains and stuff to keep his legs straight for 4 days until they were able to even get surgery done on him. So that was horrific on my family and myself, just seeing my brother every day, not even wondering, are you okay? Because they just immediately intubated him. Well, after everything, my brother had his surgery, and he did end up self-rehabilitating himself. He took advantage of Fort Bliss. They have an aquatic center there, so the doctors who said that he will never walk again definitely proved them wrong. A year later...
Wait.
Yeah.
The doctors were wrong?
Yes, the doctors were wrong.
Huh.
They told my brother that he would either be wheelchair bound or he would have to use a cane for the rest of his life.
Wow, it's amazing. And I say that facetiously, obviously, but you have no idea how many times I hear people getting these horrible prognoses, going home, going to hospice. Of course, Jessica Bustamante, right? Stage 4, catastrophic cancer, going home, hospice. You're not going to make it past the next month or 2 months. And she figures out a way to do that. So we hear that all the time. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
that's okay.
Guys, it's so important that I always like to, one of the main things that I teach is for people to take responsibility for their life. And it sounds like your brother did that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, definitely. So one of his biggest things was, I'm not applying for SSI. I'm not. I am 20 years old, and I am not going to apply for SSI.
Good for him.
So a little bit on the better side, we're going to fast forward a little bit more. He was working for the Border Patrol, for the agents that were having the housing in the Northeast. He was doing that, and now he's actually a correctional officer at a prison in Pecos.
Nice.
So
awesome.
Definitely nothing held him back. He pushed forward, so I have to give it to my brother for that. But how that affected me, that got me into the biohacking, is maybe a month after my brother's accident. He was still in the hospital. I was driving to work one day and I had my first ever panic attack. I was on Loop 375, and I don't know if it was me pondering the whole situation with my brother's accident, but I just felt like I was at the top of a roller coaster. My tummy was literally in my throat, and I couldn't breathe. I became delusional. I didn't know where I was. I had to call my husband right away, come get me. Went straight to work. We have occupational therapists here at work, so I went ahead and talked to one of them. Suggested that I go and see if there's anything wrong with me. Go to the hospital, all diagnostics done. Nothing was wrong. Everything was normal. I did get diagnosed with anxiety and panic disorder. Told me to lay down, to rest it off. Maybe it was just my brother's accident, and then if it continues to happen, come back and we'll go from there. Well, it continued to happen more often than not. Every time I was in the car by myself, I was just scared for no reason, panicking. After that, I did go back to the doctor. They did want to prescribe me Xanax. I declined. They were like, okay, how about you try the ciproxylene or something of that sort? It's like Xanax, but it's a lower dose. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to put pharmaceuticals into my body. So after that point, I didn't have any insurance as well. So therapy was like $50 a visit. They recommended 2 times per week. That's $100 a week. That was really for cognitive therapy, just someone trying to talk to you. And I needed an immediate fix. So I wasn't taking my options at that time. But lo and behold, a week after all those trial and errors on where I can get help, I was introduced to biohacking. I was, fortunately, I'm a part of your board membership, so I was here at the board meeting, and we had a lovely lady named Patsy Caulfield come in and present to us on how this nutrition can help affect your genes.
Yeah. Patsy, on behalf of this entire team, thank you for having the courage to share with us your biohack story and the lives that it's changed, and this is one of them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. Man, the anxiety and panic disorder took a toll on me. I stopped driving. Me and my husband's relationship was so rocky because he couldn't go anywhere without me being there. I was so scared to be alone. I was having panic attacks while he was at work and I was at home with my kids. It was just a very tough time. I closed down my cheerleading practice.
Wow.
My cheerleading practice, I closed
That was your whole
down.
life.
My whole life. I had 22 girls on my team.
Wow.
To just come one day and say, guys, I can't. I couldn't drive to practices. I wasn't driving to the games. I wasn't driving to a lot of places. And it really broke my heart that I had to let those little girls down. Yeah, that was a hitter for me, which caused me to go into a depression. That's where my depression set in. I gained a lot of weight because I was eating. I was scared I was eating. I was happy I was eating. I was sad I was eating. So that does happen. But nonetheless, let me go back to being introduced to the biohacking. So like Marco said, Patsy had came in, explained to us how these amazing nutrients can help us. And I took my chance. I said, this is something I'm looking for. It's an all natural ingredients. I need it. So I jumped on with the product right away. Within 30 days, I noticed a difference right away. 30 days.
Wow.
In 30 days, I noticed a difference. After 3 months, I couldn't even recall having I can't even tell you from this day when my last panic attack was. I cannot remember, and I've been using the product now for over a year.
Wow.
It's been over a year, so that's given me my life back. I'm now driving. I have a car because I did have to sell my car because I wasn't driving it.
Wow.
So I'm
so
driving
it was
now.
that bad. I mean, it's that bad. You had to sell your car.
It is so bad. I can call people on my 2 hands that would have to follow me from my house to Applebee's because we were meeting at Applebee's. Or my mom, I would have to call her, Mom, are you way home from work? Can you follow me home? And literally, it's ridiculous. I put a lot of people in the situation, not even realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, sir, I did sell my car and all that. But I'm happy to say, my kids back then were like, we used to go to the park all the time, or we would go downtown. Oh my goodness, that's my thing to do. Go downtown and walk around downtown, sightsee, window shop, get little knickknacks here and there. And that was taken away too. Me and my daughter's go-to. And so things would come up like, Mommy, let's go. Never mind, Mom doesn't drive anymore.
Wow.
It was getting tough. Well, I tell you what, this past weekend, me and the kids went to a birthday party by ourselves.
All right. Awesome.
So
you got your life back.
Got my life back.
Got your car back.
My
you got
husband has his life back too.
Well, and your husband has his life back. And how's the cheerleading?
The cheerleading, so since I did close down my organization, I put my daughter back where we first started off with.
Okay.
My first experience ever with cheer was with this Northeast Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Sarah is truly amazing. She's taught me a lot in coaching. I figured I'll have my daughter stay there because she's excelling in cheer right now. And when she hits middle school and she's aging out of Coach Sarah's team, then maybe we'll jump right back into coaching because I miss it so much.
Yeah. Okay, so you made the decision to not reopen your coaching, but that was a choice that you made. You consciously made that choice. It wasn't a choice that was made for you.
Right.
And so, but now are you still active though in the other coaching team?
I'm not active coaching. I do help time to time with stunts and little things here and there. But as a full force inside the picture, not really.
Okay, so what are you doing with your time now? Because you're not coaching and cheerleading, right? So you've got all that time on your hands now. What are you doing with that time?
Man, so one of the decisions that why I did make the choice to not jump right into opening my cheer organization is because, Marco, I'm running with this business. I gotta tell you. So not only did biohacking saved my life and gave me my life back, but it opened up an opportunity for me to make income from the comfort of my own home. I was able to witness a lot of people's lives changing, not only including mine, but my colleagues and peers and friends and people that honestly I've never met before, but since we have a connection with the product, I'm finding so many stories on how people's lives are changing by this product.
So you had some significant changes in your life.
Right.
And so then you started, and make sure we understood this. So you started sharing this with other people, and you started to see other people's lives being changed. And so was that what prompted you then to turn this biohacking movement into your own business?
It did. It did because, I've always wanted to serve in a way to help the world be a better place. And cheerleading was my go-to. I'm going to help the youth. If I can help them and inspire them, empower them to know different in the world, they can apply what I teach them. But that only goes so far. Yeah. That only goes so far.
So then how are you taking that desire, that dream to make an impact, right? And I've heard the expression, for example, Pastor Charles Neiman, he says that in life you will either be relevant or you will be ignored. And it doesn't sound like you're the type of person that likes to be ignored, right? So how have you taken that vision to impact your community and sort of refocus that into your new business venture?
Right.
And how are you impacting lives with that?
Man, one, by sharing sharing my story, and giving them resources on how I can help them. I first want to find out, what are they going through? It's about relationships with this business. You want to build relationships. And what is the best person to build relationships other than a woman that's been involved in cheerleading? Because they can start conversation anywhere.
Right, okay, I can see that.
So, and you know, a lot of it comes from a simple bow. Little kids in the store. Oh my gosh, your bow is so cute. And the mom, oh, I made that. Oh my gosh, I need your tips. And you know, then it just conversation evolves, and sometimes people just are looking for someone they feel comfortable with to let them know what are they going through. And if I have the resources, that's how my focus has changed to changing and helping people change their lives this way, is by having some resources that I can refer to on how they can help. Okay. And it's the things that the products that I have doesn't just help with one thing. Right. It helps with more than you can even imagine.
Exactly. And, you know, they say that there's over 200 diseases that are linked to just two things. And many of you who've watched my interviews before have heard me say this, that there's over 200 diseases like cancer, diabetes, Parkinson's, lupus, fibromyalgia, autism, ADHD, all types of macular degeneration. All of these diseases and more are linked to just two things, right? High levels of oxidative stress, also known as free radicals, that comes from the air you breathe, the food that you eat, all the pesticides and everything. But then also because of the mitochondrial dysfunction, right? And so if you remember from junior high school biology, the mitochondria are the little powerhouses inside of the cell. Well, all the studies show that by the time a person is 50, and I'm 52, that they have about 50% of the mitochondria that they did as a youth. And by the time you're 70, you have maybe 10%. So you've lost 90% of the mitochondria. And we can see that with the energy levels and with the cognitive processing and the reaction time, the difference between a 15-year-old and a 70-year-old. It's a big difference. So by reducing that oxidative stress and improving the mitochondrial dysfunction, you are literally getting down to the root causes of all of these different issues. Now, of course, we never claim that we treat, cure, or mitigate disease. But we do know that over 200 diseases are caused by these two things. And so the product line actually, from my research, is actually gets to that root cause, and it fortifies your body to be able to handle the environmental onslaught that we face every single day. I mean, so much so that it's literally unprecedented in human history. But, you know, I'm just curious, because you could have just been a customer, right? You could have just simply taken the product for your own health and shared it with a few people. But why did you decide to create this Kidwiler Inspire? I mean, just absolutely, and if you get a chance, you got to look up her page. It's absolutely phenomenal. But you've literally taken this and created an enterprise, and I've seen you advocate for not just women, but I've seen you really be a very strong advocate for women out there to become entrepreneurs, to take kind of control of their life. And I'm just curious, why is that important to you?
It's important to me for multiple reasons. For one, being a mom, after being at work so long, you kind of tend to figure that, are you the one that's really raising your children? Because they really spend more time at school and daycares than they do in your own presence if you're working a 9-to-5 full-time job. So that was a big one for me, because there's a lot of characteristics in this world that I do not want my children to possess. And that was one of my big ones on why I jumped on board. However, a lot of it comes from being a woman empowered. You know, we always get that the woman is supposed to be at home and stay home while the man works, because the woman is to take care of the kids, clean and cook for the man. But times have changed. Times have changed so much, and I really think that sometimes women are discredited for the things that they can do. So I was doing a little bit of research, so I do have my notes here. Regarding some things of that sort. So I kind of want to share with you some myths that I found.
I got a feeling this is going to be good. All right, let's take a look. What do you have?
So here's some myths. So myth number one is women are not capable of building a big business. All they can do is find a few customers and sell some product. Well, let me tell you this. This is not true. Marco, what is one of the key concepts of building a successful business?
Relationships.
It's meeting people, talking to people, and building relationships.
Absolutely, that's number one.
Right. So, Marco, you tell me, who is better than a woman at doing all of this?
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. Absolutely.
Because
and I don't. And someone out there is going to say, "Oh, Marco, that's being sexist." No, listen. in my experiences, it's been that the majority of the time, all right, women tend to be more social than guys. Guys are always so worried about what this other guy's going to take from
right.
him and being and doing the macho trip thing. So, I'll give you that. Okay, I'll give you that one.
And the plus to that is that we can target women and men in the same friendly way and not it be stirred in a different way that a man kind of would, reaching out to a woman than a man.
Gotcha.
So, but women can strike a conversation just like that. Just like that. Being that women give honest compliments to others and in 2 seconds they have a new friend.
That's true. If a guy gives the other guy a compliment, the guy getting the compliment thinks it's a little weird. If a guy gives a woman a compliment, the woman is wondering whether or not the guy has secondary motives.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Keep on. I'm learning something here.
So not only in a couple of seconds do you spark a conversation, but within 2 minutes you also make a new friend.
Okay.
So also, women are amazing in maintaining relationships, which is the key to building businesses.
Absolutely.
So myth number 2, women are not capable of leading big organizations. All they can do is play a supportive role.
Ooh.
No. So I know this is the rule of all because everybody resorts to this, but it is true. Right. Women not only give birth and raise children, but there are also women that are leading countries like New Zealand. The Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, she is 38 years old. She is the youngest female in the world that is a leader on earth.
Wow.
She is the youngest leader on earth. Or what about in Germany? They have Angela Merkel. She is currently serving her 4th term as Chancellor of Germany. She was first elected in 2005.
Wow.
And then last but not least, we have Ethiopia. The president, which is Saleh Work Zewde, sorry for my pronunciation, but she's an advocate for peace and gender equality in her country. She is the only female that is president in Africa. Women are not only leading countries, but entire companies. Yeah. Global Fortune 500 companies like General Motors, IMB, and the Pepsi company are all leading by women.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So how can they say that women can't lead big organizations?
I've never said that.
There's no way. And then we have the third and last myth that I have right here. Women are not capable of creating true wealth. All they can do is earn a significantly amount of income.
Yeah, I would say, okay, well, Oprah.
Right. Yeah.
That right there. But anyway, there's literally thousands of women that are leading organizations, and I don't remember where I saw it was a report somewhere where now there are actually more women getting college degrees than men.
Right.
That there's been a complete reversal on that. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead. Wow.
So the studies that go on with the wealth part of only making an insignificant amount of income is that the numbers show that wealthy women in the United States is growing fast and is as wealthy as men. In America, 45% of millionaires are women.
45%.
45% of millionaires are women.
Okay, so anyone out there who's sitting there talking about how there's not opportunity, 45, that's nearly half.
Right.
Of all of the millionaires in America are women. Are you sure about that?
Oh, yes. And
I didn't know that. Okay. All right.
Sir.
Okay.
So,
I'm learning something new, too.
Not only 45% of millionaires in America are women, but 60% of those women are self-earned.
Wow.
60% of that 45%. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. And it is estimated by 2030 that women will control as much as the 2/3 of the nation's wealth. Women make up a significant part of this industry, and they will continue to rise to the challenge.
Guys, we got to get off our butts.
Yeah.
This is great. I don't take it that way. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. I love that about you, that you are doing your research, that you're looking for the truth, the reality of the situation, right? Because we hear this a lot. We hear this where people want to put their life situation as an excuse, right? And one of the things that I found is that the most successful people, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Let me explain, just kind of in a nutshell. So a person has 5 children, for example, and they say, well, I can't be successful because I have 5 children.
Right.
Versus the successful person who says, I have 5 children, that's why I need to be successful.
Right.
Right? They both have the same situation, but it's what you do, what your perception of that situation is.
Right. Either you're gonna make an excuse for your life or make it an example. And
Wow.
that's what I chose, was to make my life an example, which is why I created Kidwiler Inspire.
Absolutely. Well, you are certainly inspiring. Any other?
Yes, I do actually.
Okay.
So I started with the myths and a little bit of the facts, but now I'm going to resort to some straight facts.
All right, let's go. Give it to us.
So according to the U.S. Labor Department, women are almost half of the workforce. They're the sole or co-breadwinner in half of American families with children. So women receive more college and graduate degrees than men. Yet, on average, women continue to earn considerably less than men.
Wow.
So owning your own home-based biohacking company, it gives women an equal and level playing field. Marco, did you know that there are more women making 6 figures in this industry than any other industry in the world?
Really?
Really.
Okay, so it's tickling me. So let me see if I get this right. So in the workforce, you have more women who have college degrees than men. Right. However, they are the leading breadwinners in their homes, but yet in the workforce, they're still not making as much as men.
Right.
That's what you're saying, right? Okay, but if I understand this right, you're saying that of the women who are making 6 figures, most of them are working, having their own business, and working from home.
Right.
Wow. So how does a person, and because you're doing it, you've got a job, right? And you are running a business.
Right.
And you are a wife with a husband, right? A wife with a husband, that's kind of redundant. And you have, how many children?
We have 3 together.
And you have 3 children.
Right.
Okay. So how do you make it all work?
Sacrifice.
Okay.
It does take sacrifice and the drive, and not to make your life an excuse, to put it as an example.
Wow.
So that's how I do it. I do not monitor everything, but I kind of balance everything out.
Okay.
It's all about balance. Life is about balance.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah.
So I have to balance everything out. I do have a couple of tricks on social media up my sleeve, but that's another training. Okay,
all right. Well, I've seen your training. I've seen her trainings, and that's where I saw that birth of a rock star that I mentioned earlier. I mean, you're training on how to leverage, because you have to have some leveraging power, some tricks to be able to do all of that. I mean, and so, I mean, it's been absolutely amazing. Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
Those are my key facts that I have, and
wow.
That is why I biohacked. I believe in biohacking. I strive for biohacking, and yeah, this changed the world.
Oh my gosh, Stephanie, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule, right? I mean, and sharing this with your story. I know that there's so much more to tell, but I thank you for the time. And guys, you know, that's all that I have for today. I hope it was worth your tuning in. Stephanie Kidwiler, Kidwiler Inspire. I've never done this before, but certainly if you get a chance, look up her social media, look up her page, and if you are looking to partner with someone, if you have that inner drive, if you're dissatisfied with your current situation and you want something more out of life than just that home to work, home to work, home to work. It's that hamster wheel, that rat race, and you want to have something for yourself, and you want to have a better life. Definitely reach out to her. I mean, gosh, right here is absolutely amazing. So, guys, that's all I have for you today. Remember, as I always like to say, there is a better way to live.
Absolutely. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you.